We have our very own. Okay. Setting up Facebook Live. And we are live. Hello, Facebook fam. It has been a minute. But hey, we are back. We are back. The Flavor Room, Lace Flowers, and Sutton McCraney in the house to talk to you today about why the Flavor Room exists.
Yep, we're back again. Peace and blessings. We told you we were not coming back,
We
but you
lied.
know what? I wouldn't say we lied,
No, we didn't
but
intend to.
no, you know what? We've had a lot of interest in the flavor room, rightfully so, because it's amazing. So we know that you guys enjoyed seeing these conversations. So we're bringing it back again just for the next 5 days to really get into TFR. Okay, no rabbit holes. We want to focus solely on TFR here with you because this is important. It's not about Lace and I, getting the bag and, having this empire. Ha, ha, ha. No, it's not about that. It is about changing the face of entrepreneurship because there's a lot of BS going on and it needs to change. And the flavor room is at the forefront of that change. So before I get into that, let's just, talk about why TFR exists.
Yes, and our origin story, because it is a beautiful story of how this actually came to be. So me and Saturn have known each other for about 3 years. We've been kicking it in the online space. And it was on August the 7th this year that we happened to be in one of these networking thingies together. And Saturn slid into my DMs and was like, hey, I have an idea. And she came and she told me about this idea. You good to talk? Because I know this is like your brainchild. I want you to tell the story of the pre-marination.
Yeah, you can tell your part and then we'll go backwards.
Okay,
It's
okay,
all
we'll do
good.
it that way. So yeah, she slid into my DM. She said, "Hey, I've got this idea. I've been marinating it in my brain, and let me tell you, this woman's brain is exquisite. For about 3 years. Do you know anyone who's going to want to collab?" And I was like, "Well, probably, but unless you tell me what the thing is, it's really difficult for me to know." So she laid out what it was, and she'll tell you more about that in a minute. And I was like, "Hold up a minute. Yes, I know people, but I'm putting my hand up for this." I was like, "This, I'm not missing this. This is my opportunity. It's got my name written on it. I am the co-person you're looking for." So, I put my hand up to that. And within 24 hours, we had sold out our founding spots. Just like that. We didn't have a website. We didn't have a funnel. We didn't have none of those things. We just set up the Google Doc and the Stripe link and went out to invite the people that we thought would be a great fit for this. 24 hours sold out. Bam. Quickest thing I've ever sold in my life. And that was all the validation I needed to know that not only was this idea brilliant, I already knew that, but that people were going to buy into this and they bought into it at breakneck speed.
Yeah, thank you, Lace, for sharing that. And you hear all the time, oh, you need to do things this way and you need to validate and you need to blah, blah, blah. You need to spend a year in market research and look at the crystal ball and the tea leaves. We didn't do any of that. We moved and we have been moving since October 7th, August 7th.
This.
And we continue to move each and every day. And that is why we currently have 13 members represented across 5 countries and growing because we continue to move. That is why our flavor fam, as we call our members, are having real growth, real transformation. So I want to go back to where did TFR come from? We talked about, Lace and I being in Church World coming together, but I want to talk about where this idea came from. As Lace mentioned, it was something that was in my head for 3 years. Being a woman of color, being Muslim, coming into the online space and being told that I needed to connect with people, I needed to network and be in rooms and all of that. What I found was that I was not accepted in those rooms. It was always going to be kind of underhanded. where it was very clear to me from my life experiences where I was welcomed and where I was not welcomed. More so being tolerated. Because here's the thing that people won't tell you. These spaces were created for people of color as an afterthought.
Mm.
Like, oh, well, okay, they're here now, so let's include them. And there was definitely that vibe, me being from the military, I have a certain way of doing things and a certain way I think about things. And that I was immediately kind of like, oh, that person's over there. So still thinking, gotta be in these spaces. How else am I gonna grow my business? I was forcing myself to be in rooms that I didn't really feel comfortable being in, simply for the fact because I thought that's all there was. And the more I was going, I was realizing as I was observing, the so-called leaders and owners and hosts of these spaces was that I could do this and do it uh, better. 10x, right? I could 10x what they were doing. And it became one of those things that was just kind of like a someday because I knew the vision I had was going to be bigger. And I just didn't think that I could do it by myself. So, that kind of bridges the gap into what Lace shared with you all. That's where TFR came from. It came from a need. And how many times have you heard, stories their greatest idea came from was from a need. And I think Lace can attest to this as well. Also, like righting the wrongs that were done to me and what she felt had been done to her throughout her journey as an entrepreneur. Because I'm sure all of you have at some point experienced this or observed this in your time in business where people are telling you that you're not good enough, telling you how you should do things, telling you to be quiet, telling you how to dress, what to say, what to offer, putting pressure on you. You don't want to do high ticket, they're telling you to do high ticket. You don't want to do low ticket, they're telling you to do low ticket. Sending you down this rabbit hole and telling you, well, if it doesn't work, you don't want it hard enough. And all these things that people tell you, the advice they give you that is vague. You go into these networking spaces, it's like a bunch of NPCs. No one has any personality. It's just Sally Sue, 5 days. What do? Oh, well, I'm Jilly Jow, and I help women, feel better in the bedroom. Like whatever it is, it's like that's all. And then you get on these coffee chats and there's no connection. It's just empty. I don't know how many times, Lacey, we've had conversations recently with entrepreneurs who've been interested in the flavor room and they have said, I have no idea what I'm paying for. Not from us, but from, these different groups and stuff that they're in that promise empowerment, that promise community, that promise, what else do they promise? Connections and collaborations and
Information.
referrals. Yeah, all of the nice things. They promise all of that, but behind the scenes, that's not happening.
No,
And
it's just
people,
weed.
yeah, it's tumbleweed, it's ghost town, it's empty promises, it's market. And there's a lot of people that we've spoken to just very recently who are tired of it because they're looking at their bank account and they're looking at how much they're paying to be in these spaces and they're looking around like, well, wait a minute, that's not that's not what I signed up for, and that's not what I'm getting. Where are the collaborations? There's no way to communicate. We've heard that one. There's no way to communicate in these spaces. And I've noticed this too, ways that people have come into these spaces and they're so conditioned as to how they're supposed to run, like without any personality.
Mhm.
And when they join the flavor room, it's like a relief and a release because they can finally be themselves. They can finally have fun, right? They
Mhm.
can finally start to explore and be playful in their business but
Yes.
also be taken seriously. Like, how weird is that?
It's nuts. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm allowed to be human. It's like, yeah, that's what we are. But what we have produced as an online industry, and I don't even know how it happened, is a bunch of NPCs. And people are so conditioned to turn up and, say the same two lines and just act really like NPCs, robots. Just, oh yeah, going through the motions. This is what I'm supposed to say. Now you're supposed to buy from me. Like, no. No, 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 no. And then what we've got is, oh, well, there's no connection, there's no community, there's none of this. It's like, well, no, because this robot stuff doesn't create connection. The humanness is what creates connection, real connection, and it's been lost. And it's almost like a lot of our members have to decondition. I know I did. It was hard for me to turn into an NPC in the first place, which is why I got so pissed off with business. So I was like, this is how it's got to be. I don't even want to fucking do it. But a lot of people have become very conditioned in that way, and when they come to us, it's a safe place. And I'm not talking like, oh, it's a safe space. It's actually okay to come in and decondition, and they do it very quickly because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm allowed to just be myself, the very thing that actually sets you apart, but you're not supposed to do. But then when you become like everyone else and blend in, you've got this NPC kind of personality, you're like, well, no one's buying from me. No one's noticing me. No, because you sound like everybody else. But when you actually just come in, be yourself, be human, connect with other humans, it's like this big sigh of relief, this breath of fresh air. And that's what people are getting inside of our space.
That's what people are getting, and they're seeing an ROI. And I want to just clarify this because a lot of people think that an ROI automatically means, you know, money, that you pay this, you're getting money back. There's more to it than that. As people want to get back to, as you said, Lace, being human, the human connection, which has been missing. Everything has been just go, 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 sales, go on to the next sale, hunt around for clients. And what our mission is, what we're saying is we're bringing people together, okay,
Mm-hmm.
off of the socials with integrity. Let's help each other out because as we know, those who are at the so-called top, they help each other out. They have their own ecosystem,
Yes, they do.
right? They're putting each other on. So in the flavor room, we're saying, why can't we do the same? And this is something we do on the regular. In fact, we just, closed out an event today that was absolutely amazing. That was hosted by, one of our members.
Yes.
And so she's able to highlight her expertise, right? But also giving back to the flavor room. How many
Exactly.
spaces are you going to be able to go to where they're saying, yeah, we'll promote you, we'll put you on our platform, you do your thing. That's not going to happen. And if you do, if you know, they're going to want the coin for that.
Yeah, and then when you're allowed to promote, if you don't get banned for doing it accidentally or because the wording wasn't quite right or whatever that was, because we've got all these business spaces where you're not allowed to talk about your business or post a link, which is like, okay, well, it's a business group, but never mind. But when we have those spaces where you are allowed to do that, I don't know if you guys have noticed, let me know in the comments if you're relating to any of what we're saying, but if you're relating to this as well, is that you're just posting and pissing into the Facebook wind. You've got these groups, thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of profiles in there, but it's just posting and no interaction, no engagement, unless it's like the owner or the owner's VA, or maybe both of them if you're really lucky. But that's it. What are you paying for? To promote, yes, but how effective is that style of promotion?
It's not. And we're saying that it's not. I had a conversation earlier with someone who was saying that they've been to, dozens, if not hundreds of these networking things. And they said every time it's the same formula, breakout rooms. Well, what do you do? And everybody's pitching and, just going through the motions. And I told this person that the reason for that is because there is no standards. Now, yes, they may have structure for the meeting itself saying, okay, we're going to spend 5 minutes in this breakout room and then we're going to have a prompt and then we're going to close out. But there's no standards for all the community because most of these places are community by name, but not in action. And that is why. That is why you go in and you're like, well, okay, what did I really get out of this? There's no purpose. There's a purpose for the person who owns the space, but there's no clear purpose as to when people walk away from your event, or your, for lack of a better term, group or community, what are they getting out of it each and every time? There's no thought into that. And there's some people who are listening to this that may be like, oh, you can't say it. Well, I can say it because there's proof. If there was thought put into it, people would be getting something out of it other than coffee chats, other than feeling the energy. Well, I can talk to myself and feel the energy. I have
Sorry.
a goldfish behind me. I can feel the energy from the goldfish. I don't need to sit in your thing and be looked down upon and told that I can't, be myself just to feel the energy. No, no, thank you. And people are over that.
Mm,
People want results. And part of one of those results is to feel that sense of belonging. When you feel like you belong, this is my belief, Lace. Let me know if you agree that you don't feel as lonely. Like how many times have we heard about entrepreneurs feeling lonely in their business?
yes. Yes.
Why is everybody lonely if there's all these spaces that are empowering, that can witness you and hold you, why why is that happening? Something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it is. Lace, you know what it is because we fixed it. Hello.
Yes, we did. We did.
Yeah, so this is why it's happening because there's no standards. So the mission of the flavor room is very simple. Come as you are, not in the cliche sense. Don't come up in here and act fool,
Mm-hmm.
but be yourself. This is your business. You get to run it how you want to. We're here to support you. Okay, we're here to give you the space to let your hair down,
Yes.
but also hold you accountable for the things that you say you want to do and help you rise to achieve that, even if it means you're rising above us.
Yes. Yeah.
This
We
is
don't
not about
mind.
us. No, I would be grateful for that.
Hmm. That's what we want to see. And that's what
That's
we're
what we
doing
want to see.
as a community.
That's what we're doing together. Because if we didn't, we wouldn't be literally burning the midnight oil like each and every day on
Hmm.
how we can improve the flavor room. Who we can connect with who. What are we
Yes.
doing this week? What do we need to refine?
Mhm.
How many spaces are you in right now, party people, where the people who own that space are doing that?
Let us know in the chat. I'm gonna check the chat.
I mean, let us know because you can feel the difference.
Oh, you
You know,
can.
you can. So this is what we're about in the flavor room. We're not about, how much money you're making or trying to keep up this image. This is about getting back to the real. And as things continue to change in the economy, in society, and even just down to, marketing and, buying patterns and buying behaviors, this is going to be important. So we're leading the charge here in the flavor room. The flavor room is invite only. It is a curated ecosystem, but it is also a movement. Why is it a movement? Because we are changing things.
Yes. In so many ways, more ways than one, but we're not gonna go into that today, but it is true. That is the truth. And we've got folks in the chat telling us the only place that are doing the things that we're talking about is our space.
Absolutely. And we know that. And Lace, I'm just going to throw this out here because you and I have talked about this privately, but I want this to be publicly known because I'm ready to stand on this. We have cracked the code when it comes to community. I
Yeah.
100% know that for a fact. No, nobody does it like we do it. Nobody can do it like we do it. I didn't get this from Chat GPT and just said, I need to make a community. No, this came from lived experience where I was so in tune to what I needed. I knew it wasn't there. And I was clearly able to identify those gaps and then come back and say, well, how can I do this? But also had the self awareness to say, I need help with this. So we're not just here talking about something that is a quick buck. This is something that is here to stay, and this is something that is changing the game and will continue to change the game. Because as I said, we have cracked the code in the community. We have solved that problem where people are always like, oh, well, memberships are hard to keep and the churn rate and da. Well, of course you're going to have a churn rate. Of course it's hard to keep people in when you haven't given them a reason to stay in.
And that's the
Some
point.
some dusty videos in a Facebook group is not going to do it anymore.
Mhm.
So if you're creating a community just so you can have a passive form of income, okay, that's cool, but don't be surprised if it doesn't, give you those lasting results like you want them to.
Yes.
But that's
Yes.
another conversation for another day. I just wanted to say that piece because we don't brag on it enough, and we should.
We're not big braggers, but we have
We're
cracked
not.
it. Something special here. We are onto something, and it speaks for itself. It is growing. It is growing almost on a daily basis, and there is always stuff going on behind the scenes. Like, we are not just sat here just looking in Stripe going, oh yeah, it's just coming in. Like, we are doing the things. We are busy women in the best kind of way because we actually give a shit. And I think this goes back to the podcast that we just recorded with the beautiful Chloe Bond. I know she was watching because she left a like on it. And she's amazing, by the way. But she quoted someone and said that's part of it. You have to give a shit, and most people don't. They're just like, how can I get the next buck? And that's not getting nowhere. You have to give a shit, and we do. So many of them.
Yep, and that's why you don't hear us coming on here about, how many sales that we've made and this and that. We could easily do that, but we don't. In fact, there's most times that we just forget about ourselves because we are just so focused on serving, not ourselves, not self-service, right? Where we
Hmm.
just gather these people together. Oh, look at me, come be in my energy. No, we are always out here. How can we make this better? How can we help people?
Yes.
Even down to sending get well packages to our members,
Hmm.
when they're under the weather.
Yes.
Go find a space that does that. You won't.
We're here, by the way.
Yeah, you won't unless you book a call to find out more about the flavor and to see if it's a fit for you. So, let's kind of close out with that. Let's tell the party people how they can find out more about the flavor room.
Easy peasy. So if you just like, oh, I just want to have a little bit of a deeper nose, you can do that. We're going to drop our brand new sexy website in the comments in the chat, but it's theflavorroom.biz. But if you've heard enough and you're like, hey, how do I just get in? Like, we need to talk about this. Then the only way to get in is to book a call with me and Sutton. It's a Flavor Fit call. The link is in the comments and we'll have a chat, see if it's going to be a fit for you, if it's a fit for us, and if it is, we'll tell you what level of support is likely to work for you at wherever you are in your business right now, because we've just opened tiers, which is really exciting. So we literally meet you where you're at. So yeah, book that call, let's have a chat, and we look forward to welcoming you in, or at least just having a chat to see if you're going to get that welcome. But please go ahead and do it.
Thank you, Lace. And yeah, I just want to add here before we close out, the reason why we have those calls is because we want to get eyeball to eyeball with you to see where you're at, see what's going on with you and your business, what your goals are, so we can see if we can even support you in that way with the flavor room. Because as again, this is invite only. And so when we say that, we mean it. It's not just we're using it for marketing. So that's why that's in place. So if you're kind of repelled by the fact that, we have a call set up just to even learn more about the flavor room, then this is probably not a fit for you.
Absolutely. I've dropped those links. So there they are for you. And we'll be back tomorrow for the next installment. So ciao.
Peace.
Stop streaming button now, isn't it? Where is it? I can never bloody